Okay, chat. So, last night, I kind of jumped in late to a Xanderhall stream, and I kind of caught the tail end of him reacting to a video by a commentary YouTuber known as Pancho. Pancho is a large commentary YouTuber with nearly 2 million subscribers, and he put out a video recently called "You're Transphobic," in quotes. And I thought, why don't we take a look at this? We'll kind of react to it, give our thoughts as we go along. So here's the video. It's only 5 minutes and 12 seconds long. Obviously, I'll be providing my commentary, so it'll take a little bit longer than that to give my thoughts on whatever he has to say. But let's go ahead and dive into this without further ado.
Play that shit!
Here we go.
Today we'll be focusing on the transphobia allegations, man. I'm under attack. A lot of people have been saying, oh, you're transphobic. Good for you, Pancho. El transphobe. When somebody says the word transphobe or transphobic, you usually think of somebody hating trans people, and that's just stupid because I don't see any reason why I would need to hate on somebody for being delusional. I've never once...
Okay, we're off to a good start, chat. I don't see any reason to hate someone for being delusional. We are already off to a fantastic start to the video, literally just referring to trans people as delusional. Oh boy, this is going to be fun.
Said on this channel that I hate somebody for being trans or they should die or anything hateful. I've always just disagreed with their decision.
I mean, you literally just called trans people delusional. I'd say that's pretty fucking hateful.
What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude.
I'd say that's pretty fucking hateful. And I gotta say, like, the way he said it, that like with such confidence in the way he said it, I'm not gonna give him the Nick Merckx defense. For those of you guys who don't know, if you saw my Nick Merckx coverage, when I covered the Nick Merckx situation, I said that he was coming from a place of ignorance. Like, he just didn't understand the reality of, like, you know, people like in the LGBTQ plus community, their lifestyle, a lot of the discrimination they have to face, and, you know, just various different things like that in relation to that topic. I gave Nick Merckx the defense of, hey, you know, he's just ignorant. All right. He's not hateful. He's just ignorant. But I'm sorry, if you're just like outright out of the gate, I mean, we're not even a full minute into the video and you're already referring to trans people as delusional. Like, I'm sorry, bro, but you just don't get that defense. I can't give you that one.
Decision, and I guess they take disagreeing with the decision as me saying I hate them.
So, see, he thinks that being trans is a decision. He thinks that you get to choose to have gender dysphoria. Here's the thing, Pancho. It doesn't work that way. Okay, you don't choose to suffer from gender dysphoria. It's just something that just kind of happens. And as a result of that, you have to seek treatment. Treatment in the form of gender affirming care. And what gender affirming care looks like is different for everybody. You know, some people, they might just do the social thing of maybe they change the way they dress, maybe they change their name, maybe they use different pronouns. For other people, it might be something like, you know, using hormones. You know, they might actually go on estrogen or testosterone or something like that, right? And that's what they're comfortable with. And then there's others who will progress further with, like, getting, you know, surgeries and stuff like that. Different forms of gender affirming care based on their own level of comfort and, you know, what they need to overcome their gender dysphoria. Okay, this is not a delusion. This is not a fucking choice. This is something that unfortunately these people deal with. It's something that they have to deal with, and they have to get care for, just like any other condition that people would deal with. Okay, so we already see the level of ignorance this guy has, that this is not a choice, right? Just like being gay is not a choice. It just, you're gay or you're not.
Believe that, I guess. If I have anybody that's watching this video that's that low IQ, I wouldn't mind if you believed that, because I don't want any low IQ people in my audience. If we're on the top...
Okay, the only low IQ person I see here, Pancho, is you. Somebody who exists in a state of ignorance, somebody who refuses to get out of that state of ignorance, and somebody who just is perfectly fine being an ignorant fucking person. That's what I see here.
Topic of hating groups of people, I'd say the only group of people I really hate are pedophiles. I don't care if they die. I don't care if they get burned alive. You know, some people would say, "Ah, Pancho, this is a PR ass response. Why don't you just come out and say you hate trans people if you don't agree with any of the things they do with transitioning or their decision?" Because that's just stupid. That's just stupid. There's nothing you gain from hating people. You don't gain anything. I mean, you on the internet, I'd argue.
So you don't hate trans people, but you hate the things that allow them to exist and live a comfortable life. Things like gender affirming care that allow them to live happy, healthy lives, right? You don't hate trans people, but you don't want them to be able to make that choice. Make it make sense, chat. Make it make sense.
You dumb cunt.
Jesus.
You can actually gain a lot by hating people on the internet, or hating trans people, or hating whatever group of people on the internet, because there's a market for that. But I want to be above that. I don't want to just lead with hate. And
I want to be above that by saying that trans people shouldn't have access to the care they need to treat their gender dysphoria. Oh my God.
I fucking hate everyone.
Jesus.
you know, at the end of the day, as I said, I don't agree with it, but that doesn't mean I'm hating. I think people who are trans suffer from a mental illness, and that's gender dysphoria. We learned about that years ago, and it got changed.
Okay, it's not a mental illness. It's a mental condition. Okay, it's a mental condition that they deal with, and the way you treat said mental condition is by seeking out gender affirming care. Okay?
From a mental illness to a what do they call it? A term now. It's just a term. A term for a boy who's confused and thinks he's actually a girl, or a girl who's confused and actually thinks she's a boy. And just because you have some sort of mental disorder doesn't mean I can't treat you like a human. I'll have a conversation with you if you're cool. But if we get to talking, let's say we're talking about random people, and then the trans person goes, "Don't misgender them. That's not okay." Bro, I'd stand up and leave. I'd get the fuck out of there, because I'm not gonna have somebody.
I don't understand what's so hard about what's so hard about not misgendering people, right? I can understand if maybe you meet a trans person for the first time, and maybe you can't tell based on your first interaction with them, what their gender is or something, and you accidentally misgender them. I do think that sometimes people get a little too uppity about that, and as a result, it causes conflict where there doesn't need to be conflict, where it could simply be resolved as I actually go by, she, her, or I actually go by they, them, or whatever, right? But I feel like once somebody has let you know, hey, these are my pronouns, it's not that difficult to just be a decent human being and respect their fucking pronouns. If your response, like he just said, is to just leave the room as soon as somebody corrects you, is, hey, these are my pronouns, please don't misgender me. That's just you being a fucking asshole at that point. All right. You can't say that you're not hateful towards trans people and then openly admit that if one of them says, hey, you misgendered me, could you please use these pronouns for me? And your response is basically to leave the room as a sort of symbolic way of telling them to fuck off. You can't say you're not transphobic when that's your response to being corrected on someone's pronouns. I'm sorry, it just doesn't fucking work that way.
Order me to be confused about reality. That's fucking retarded. I'm not buying it, dog. You can't fool me. I'm not brainwashed like you. I'm not with the mental gymnastics shit. I'm sorry. I mean, when I was a kid, I grew up.
Mental gymnastics? Dog, there are literally studies that show that gender dysphoria is a real thing. Gender dysphoria is a condition that causes people who deal with it a great level of distress, to the point where they experience severe levels of anxiety, severe levels of depression, and more importantly, they experience severe levels of suicidality. Okay. So they have, it's not a fun thing to deal with. Okay. And so the way that you treat that, the way that you deal with that, is by treating these people with the level of gender affirming care that they need to deal with this situation. Okay. There's scientific studies that back this. All right. So For you to act like it's some kind of delusion or it's some like bullshit that people just came up with in their heads, like, I'm sorry, it's just not the case. That's like saying people who suffer with like, you know, I don't know, anxiety or depression disorders that, oh, it's just all in your fucking head. Like, that's not real. Like, we've known that these conditions exist for a long fucking time. This isn't something that's new. So to just pretend like, oh, well, I don't believe it's real, so whatever, you're the one that's delusional here. Science literally backs the existence of gender dysphoria. So, like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
And there is a boy and a girl. I firmly believe most people believe this, but they're too nice to tell these people the truth. And I'm not here to spread hate, and I'm not here to radicalize anybody. I don't want any of you guys being trans.
I'm not here to spread hate, but I'm telling my audience of 146,000 people who watch this video that if I'm corrected on somebody's pronouns, I'm going to tell them basically to fuck off by leaving the room. And I'm also going to say that I don't believe that they should have access to gender affirming care because I think they're fucking delusional. Make it make sense to me, chat. Make it fucking make sense because it's not making sense. I'm not hateful. This is him speaking. I'm not hateful, but you shouldn't have access to the care that you need, and I'm not going to respect your fucking pronouns. Okay, dude.
Phobic because it doesn't solve anything. One thing I've noticed that they get twisted is they'll listen to somebody make an edgy joke about trans people, and then they'll say that that person's a transphobe, even though they're just making jokes, regardless of them being edgy or not. And they'll paint him as like a trans.
So the problem is, okay, number one, we talked about this earlier when we talked about the Nick Merckx thing. Sometimes statements we make, and those statements include jokes. Sometimes those jokes, they play into harmful like stereotypes or harmful narratives against groups of people. Okay, so maybe you're making a joke and you're not intending for it to actually be like a real thing of you being like hateful towards someone. But when you make certain jokes, you're playing into very negative and harmful stereotypes and narratives. Okay, that's part of the like issue here, right? Not only that, but a lot of people will say they're joking, but they're not actually joking. Okay, what they're saying, like they actually believe the shit they're saying in their little joke or whatever, right? So like, it's just one of those things where like, I see too many people that will use the joke defense, and like honestly, just be honest. Don't be a little bitch about it. Like if you're a hateful piece of shit, just admit you're a hateful piece of shit. You can absolutely make edgy jokes about trans people. Trust me, I'm friends with trans people. These guys have no idea what a good edgy joke means. Yeah, exactly. There's ways to joke about it that's not like, you know, fucking hateful in nature, but like, I'm sorry, most of the people that use the joke defense in these particular situations, like, I'm sorry, you said something that's genuinely fucked up. And even if it's a case of you didn't actually believe what you were saying, you were just actually saying a joke, you may be playing into harmful rhetoric and not even notice it. So those, you can make a joke that is transphobic without yourself being transphobic. But I gotta be honest, I think a lot of the people who make these jokes, I think they actually believe the shit they're saying. I think it's a fucking dog whistle.
A hateful person, when it's like, bro, that's not the case. Even if it's a hateful joke, that doesn't mean they hate you guys. Like, I could make a hateful joke towards my homie, and it'll piss him off for like a second, but that doesn't mean I hate him. I'm just giving him shit. These people are so soft nowadays.
There's a difference between roasting your homeboy and making a joke that plays into harmful rhetoric. There's a huge difference between that. Everybody roasts their friends. I've told jokes towards my friends that are meant to roast them, like little lighthearted jabs and stuff, and, you know, everything's like cool or whatever, but there's a big difference between telling a joke to your friend that's like meant to be like a little lighthearted roasting and actually telling a joke that plays into harmful rhetoric. It has the potential to do a lot of harm and a lot of damage and to signal boost very harmful ideas.
They can't even process a joke. People don't realize what jokes are anymore. They're like, oh no, there's an underlying intent with that. It's like, that's why he's joking and not taking that underlying.
Fucking Deathwater in the chat says people always talk about dog whistles, but they never talk about cat whistles. Shut the fuck up.
You dumb cunt.
Jesus. I say some really fucked up shit to my friends, but we have that relationship and we develop that over time. Yeah. So it's like really different. There's a difference there. And I think he knows there's a difference there, but I think he's playing dumb. I think he's just acting retarded.
Hold on. Retard break. I need a retard break. Give me a retard break for like 2 fucking minutes, okay? I can't keep listening to fucking retards.
I think he knows the difference, but he's actually playing dumb.
Intent. That's why he's making the fucking joke. Like, and the one that I can think of off the top of my head is dudes be 14, 15, and already converting to a woman. Like, damn, you at least try to get some pussy first? Like, that's funny, bro.
Oh my god, that was fucking hilarious. Oh god, it was so funny.
And if I'm transphobic for that, fuck it, I guess I am. One thing you'll notice with my channel is I only talk about them when it involves kids.
Oh, boy, here we go, chat. Here we go. He's playing into the groomer narrative. Who couldn't see that coming? But remember, chat. Remember, he's not transphobic. He's going to play into the little groomer narrative about trans people. But just remember, he's not transphobic, chat. Am I right? This guy's so full of shit, dude.
What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude.
Have you ever thought about that? I only talk about it when it involves literal children. If you think that I'm bigoted towards topics about kids being introduced to the trans stuff and having them confused at a young age, hell yeah, I'm bigoted towards that topic. What does that say about you? Actually, that's what I want to get down to. Why do you have a problem with me talking about kids being introduced to it? If you don't see the problem,
they think that you just like introduce kids to the shit. It's the indoctrination shit, right? You don't indoctrinate someone into being gay or trans or anything like that. That doesn't happen, right? Again, these people don't get to choose whether they're adults or kids. They don't choose to have gender dysphoria. It just happens, okay? So like, we're not talking about like indoctrinating kids to become trans. It doesn't work that way. This is the problem with these people, is they talk about shit that they know nothing about. And I highly doubt they've even made an effort to even look into it and to try and understand it. You can't make someone be gay. You can't make someone have gender dysphoria and be trans. It doesn't work that fucking way.
who the fuck do I have in my audience? Bro, unsub if you think that that's transphobic. And this is what they'll say. They'll be like,
but it is transphobic. Oh, I guess it's a good thing I'm not subscribed, because now I don't have to unsub.
But in middle school, we have the sex ed videos that show a penis and a vagina. They're exposing kids to it too. Those videos show you the reproductive system of your own bodies. That's not an adult going to a child and saying, hey, have you ever questioned who you're sexually attracted to? It's not the same at all. And if you're on the retard side of this argument, get the fuck out of here. As I said earlier, unsub. Hey man, if I'm transphobic for anything I said in this video, I guess I am, dude. I'm gonna have to live the rest of my life being a trans.
I'm gonna say it for you, Pancho. I'll say it for you, since you really seem to have a problem with saying it yourself, since you really seem to have an issue of comprehending rather why what you're saying is problematic. I'll just say the words for you. Okay, I will say the words for you. I will speak them to you loudly and clearly. Yes, Pancho. Yes, you are fucking transphobic. All right? Now you don't have to question it. Now you don't have to like kind of dance around the issue or anything like that. The tipster has officially told you that yes, you are fucking transphobic.
Transphobe. As I keep going on with the channel, I'm gonna continue to talk about things that I find interesting, and if it involves trans people taking it too far, I'm gonna talk about it, and I'm not sorry.
What is? Oh, we got a Bible verse here, chat. We got a Bible verse. Father, wait, did he misspelled forgive? He misspelled forgive. Luke 23:24. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they are doing. Looks like you have more problems in learning about gay people in school. Looks like you needed to learn how to fucking like pay attention to fucking English class, my dude. Oh shit. Jeez. Wait, what was it? What is this shit? Hold on. Hate will never win. It just says hate will never win. I mean, does he not realize the shit that he said in this video is genuinely fucking hateful? I mean, you're literally talking about you think these people shouldn't have access to gender affirming care because you think they're delusional, right? And then on top of that, you're saying you're not going to respect their pronouns. You're saying you're going to be a dick to them. What a fucking... This guy's a fucking dipshit. Like, holy shit, man. How does he not know that what he's saying... How does he not know that what he's saying is, like, transphobic? Like, I'm sorry, but it just is. Yeah, as I said before, Pancho, I'm going to let you know. You're a fucking transphobe, and I have no problem saying that whatsoever. Jesus.